Good morning and welcome to the KCK Public Schools District Address and Partners for Excellence. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Foundation and the Board of Education, we want to thank you for joining us today. The partnership shared with Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools and with many of you, whether you are staff, alumni, a vendor, a sponsor, an administrator, a parent, or a community advocate. You are the reason so many students and families have benefited from a host of united efforts for the past 32 years. The foundation is grateful for the partnership with Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools. We are also grateful for the sponsors who have gone above and beyond as partners for excellence. This morning, we acknowledge a few of those partners. On the screen, you'll see a number of our sponsors listed, and we thank them so much. They all have gone above and beyond to ensure that our students are getting the best in education. They have been relentless, they've been supportive, and many of them have done more than just provide a check. They truly have been sponsors, and we greatly appreciate them.
I believe it's been 25 years now that we've had the fair in some form. That was started because we recognized that we had kids in our community that were starting school without any school supplies, and of course their teachers were trying to supplement, but that's difficult. We were wondering, at first the district decided that they were going to provide school supplies. We thought, well, is there really a need for the back to school fair? And after we thought about it, and we said, well, what is it that the district is not providing, and what do the kids have at home to supplement what they're getting at school? And so we came up with a list, and we provided backpacks with those supplies in them for the kids this year. Physicals were done downstairs at Slagle, and on the other side of the locker room we had vaccinations going on and immunizations, so we were able to not only help our kids to be ready for school with books, but they could be ready for school with their immunizations. That was all offered in addition to the services that the district provided at that location. So we were able to get parents signed up for free and reduced lunches. That was a big help to the community. We've also had the library with us, and they always bring thousands of books, and the kids and parents can just walk around and pick the book that they want. When the parents come out, I had one parent just tell me, I have 2 children, and I couldn't get them to the doctor the same day to get physicals. I would have to take off work to do that. And here I can bring them, I can get that done, and I don't have to worry about it. So yes, it helps the community tremendously. It really is a good feeling to see the community being served.
The Back to School Fair is one example of true collaboration and partnerships with local community groups who care about our students and families. On August 6th, over 2,500 students and their parents attended the fair, receiving over 2,000 backpacks and starter supply kits. Thank you to all the staff and volunteers who joined the Back to School Fair Committee and the Foundation to serve the needs of our students. Events like this are initially made possible by thoughtful leaders. At this time, let's acknowledge the members of the Board of Education and the members of the Board of Directors for the KCK School Foundation for Excellence. My heart goes out for our thoughtful leaders. I greatly appreciate their thoughtfulness and concern and care. They're all very passionate and deeply concerned about how we serve our students, and more importantly, that they get the best education possible. So again, thank you to our Board of Education, and thank you to the Board of Directors of the Foundation. The primary role of the Foundation is, was, and always will be to support the students and staff of KCKPS. And it is through purposeful priorities that we plan and align with district goals and objectives. We fund initiatives. We share communication of said initiatives. We market our value. We meet the wellness needs of our students and families, and maintain and establish key partnerships. When I think about who we are as an organization and how far we have come, the primary word that stands out for me is excellence. The founding board believed, alongside the school district, we are excellent. That we have the capacity to surpass certain standards of expectations in an excellent manner. Our purpose, direction, and motivation is driven by our mission to enhance the educational experience of our students. This has been done through awarding over $400,000 in scholarships and hosting the event of the summer, the annual golf tournament. Last year, we kicked off We Care, We Act and the KCK Engage, providing virtual reality equipment and content for students to explore careers, and supported homeless families under the McKinney-Vento Act, providing over $30,000 in utilities, rent, and other necessities for families impacted by COVID. In addition, the foundation has stepped up and hosted a number of professional development activities and department initiatives to recognize and boost employee morale. So what's next? I'm so glad you asked. Our goal in the coming year is to be more strategic and aligning with district goals and objectives. Expanding the scholarship program with more opportunities for students, and relaunching Excellence in Education. In partnership with KCKPS, the Student of the Month program, woo, y'all, it's about to get good. We are taking it one step higher. The best is yet to come. And more, you will see the foundation visible, present, and intentional in how we support the needs of our students, but more importantly, how we enhance the experience for not only our employees, but engage our community.
Buenos dias, good morning, and greetings to all of you, to all of my fellow board members this morning, the Foundation Board, Dr. Stubblefield, to our staff, our administration, and to all of you, our students, our staff, and to our community that's watching this morning. My name's Randy Lopez, and I currently have the honor to serve all of you as the board president for Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools. And I'm so grateful to be here with you this morning. I want to give a special welcome and shout out to all of our special invited guests, to our elected officials. We have commissioners, state representatives, senators, and our local mayor who are with us this morning. We're so grateful to have you here with us today. As we think about the history of our school system and our city, we wouldn't be here today without the collective energy of support, collaboration, and infectious spirit of community. We represent, and I've said this and we've all said this time and time again, we represent a diverse community consisting of hard workers with a passion for family and commitment to community, all woven into the fabric of Wyandotte County pride. This kind of KCK pride and culture has helped us to elevate to new heights and to navigate through tough times over the years. Today, you all represent the pillars that support and sustain our community in different ways. In addition to Crystal and the Foundation supporters today, we want to thank all of our state representatives for your continued support, for advocating for the various needs to educate all students, regardless of race, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, and access to wealth. Now more than ever, we need to support our local legislators and those fighting for us in Topeka. We need your support, and we are here to support you for our students and families. And you all, our community, make sure you're out there supporting your local and state elected officials because they need you. We need you. Our local officials, the unified government, the DA's office, our local sheriff's office, and Kansas City, Kansas Police Department, and all local organizations, we're grateful for you, for visiting our schools and talking to our students about careers and real-life situations that impact their lives. While our needs may be diverse, our students' dreams and aspirations are no different than students in other communities and schools across the nation. Our goal as a board is to continue to be good public servants, accessible to you, and accountable for the performance of our schools to ensure that our students are getting the best education possible. The Board of Education has had several development meetings over the past couple of months and will continue to do so in the next several months to discuss strategies and to set our goals to guide our leadership team and our district to meet our vision. While we may not always agree on the journey, I can tell you that we are all on the same page of having a top-performing school district and making sure that our students are college and career ready when they leave our district. This includes a systems-level district expectation that by 2031, 100% of all of our students that graduate will graduate with the Diploma Plus credential, with no disparities in race or gender subgroups. The district will continue to measure our growth each year and document that growth on a variety of student success factors, including those post-secondary indicators that incorporate real-world learning applications and yield strong results for our graduates' post-secondary success rates. Additionally, we'll continue to reinvest in our schools, our facilities, and our internal programming, including moving forward with a new downtown main branch library. Our students deserve the best facilities to learn in. We will also find new and creative ways to invest in you, our staff, to develop or grow our own pipeline of leaders so that you have the opportunity to thrive here in your community, in your district. We want you here, and we want you to stay here and to grow. We will look at holistic approaches to student and staff well-being, addressing not just our physical and educational needs, but making sure that our social and emotional needs are met as well. We will continue to invest in our diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging programming that is so critical to our community and to our district. We look forward to the school year to build upon our achievements, to improve in the areas that need that improvement. We look forward to expanding our community partnerships with you to provide access to services and programs that support our students both inside and out of the classroom. Can I also be real for a second? I know that we have had our fair share of challenges. We continue to see and hear about violence in our community, gun violence specifically, and inequitable systems that impact you, all of us, our families. Our community is hurting. While alone, the school district will not be able to solve for these issues, we, as a district, must do our part to make sure that we're providing a safe learning environment for all of you students, for our staff, and for our partners. This will continue to be a focal point for us as we move forward in our work. But we can't do this alone. We won't do this alone. We need you to say enough is enough. We're not going to lose one more student. We have an opportunity to not only address those educational needs of our students, but just as importantly, those social and emotional needs, and begin to find ways and strategies to heal, to stop the violence, and to create an environment for our students to thrive. The success of KCKPS impacts the success of Wyandotte County. We have a long way to go, but we are a community full of promise, and we will make steady progress. So let's continue to celebrate our wins and share these success stories with our friends, our families, and neighbors. And as board president, I can assure you that our board, we are committed to earning your trust through honesty and transparency, and we will be here to support you. We appreciate you, your support of KCKPS, and our mission, and every day, inspiring excellence, every child, every grown-up, every day. Thank you so much.
No, that one stays there. Yeah, so make sure your mic. Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Anna Stubblefield, the superintendent of Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools, and I always share that it's an honor and privilege to serve in this role. So this morning, I thought it would be an opportunity for our community to hear from some of our students or let them have an opportunity to ask me a few questions. There is an African tribe that greets one another with, "How are the children?" They don't ask about one another because if the children are well, our community will be well. So this morning we'll have a conversation. I will say I've talked to them. We have not practiced. They do have questions. They're a little nervous, but I told them everyone here is supporting and rooting for them, and everyone watching is supporting and rooting for them. So we're going to start by allowing them to introduce themselves, and then we'll jump into our conversation. So we're going to start on this end.
Hello, my name is Shuko. I'm from Carby Bruce. I'm an 8th grader and have been in the volleyball team since last year.
My name is Quatavion.
You're okay. Just make sure you're speaking to the mic so they can hear you.
My name is Quatavion. I'm from Carby Bruce, and I'm the football captain.
My name is Akira, and I'm from Carby Bruce, and I'm the cheer captain, and I'm in 8th grade.
My name's Dakota. I'm in the 8th grade, and I'm the Gloria Willis cheer captain.
My name's Carla. I'm an 8th grader. I'm from Gloria Willis, and I'm not really doing a sport right now since soccer season isn't really going right now.
Hello, my name is Jedediah Connor, and I am in 8th grade. I am 13, and I am on the debate team.
So thank you all for joining me, and thank you all for taking this journey with me. What I shared with them this morning, well, what I'm sharing with you, our students have lots of opportunities within our school system. You heard Randy and Crystal talk about a lot of the opportunities. I had them to sit up here in the board seats because these are our future leaders. Some of them may even be on the board in the future, like so many of our board members. And I want them to have an opportunity to know that all of these things are possible, and that just like they are in middle school now, middle school is where my heart is. Honestly, I love all the grades, but that's where I was an administrator, and that's where I saw so many kids transform and create their pathway. So this morning, they are going to start out by just asking me some questions, and we will share some information, and there'll be some slides. So we'll start with our first question.
Dr. Stubblefield, do we have a theme this year, and what are your hopes for us regarding Diploma Plus?
So we do have a theme this year. Our theme this year is Rebound, Reimagine, and Renew 2.0. Our theme last year was the same, and we decided to continue it and call it 2.0 for a couple of reasons. We were really grounding ourselves and trying to figure out like how can we rebound from the pandemic. And while we're moving into an endemic, we now know our pathway. So we are laser focused on ensuring that by 2031, 100% of our students will graduate with a Diploma Plus credential with no disparities in race or of gender or subgroups.
What are the Diploma Plus pathways?
Okay, so we throw around the Diploma Plus phrase and say our students are going to graduate with that. And I found when I was talking to community members, a lot of them thought that just meant that they were going to get some additional college hours or an associate degrees. But there are actually a variety of ways that students can earn the Diploma Plus credential. And each one of you, you're going to help the district by helping yourself by earning one of these. And the one is at least a 21 on the ACT or a 1060 on the SAT. And we will ensure that we create opportunities to prepare our students for those tests if college is the pathway that they want to go. Completion of a qualified internship or industry-approved project, completion of the IB diploma program or career-related program, completion of an industry-recognized certificate or credential, acceptance into the military, completion of at least one full year of college, that's 18 to 20 credit hours. And we actually, when our students are a part of that, we pay for that for our students. So we are working to eliminate barriers in each one of these pathways to ensure that our students get it. And finally, an approved plan for post-secondary transition. And all of our students, we have individual plans of studies, which are a part of our KCKPS programming. So we are really becoming laser focused to ensure that for our students. I said a lot. Any questions about that? Or have you all heard of that? I mean, has anyone talked to you, and you can be honest, has anyone talked to you about these pathways and that's our goal for you?
No.
Okay, so note that we need to talk to our students about this is our goal for them and make sure that they know and understand those different pathways.
What's the plan for graduating with diploma credential?
Yeah, so one of the things that we have as district administrators, leaders, teachers, and community members, before I got here, they created the strategic plan, in the slide, okay, that's the slide I'm looking for. So as a district, we have a continuous plan of improvement. And this looks like a lot of things, but this is actually our roadmap to ensure that our staff and our community partners and our administrators all are working on the same things to ensure that you're on a path for Diploma Plus. So how we make our decisions, each one of your schools have a school improvement plan. I'm guessing you didn't know that. Did you know that? And that's okay, but your teachers will, what they're doing is driven by the school improvement plan. And then we have a system of multi-tier system of support that we have in place, because we have to identify what it is that you need to be able to know and be able to do in order to get to those Diploma Plus pathways. And that's tied to our strategic plan, which is ultimately driven by our accreditation process. And then the things that you see on the side are our goals. I know it's a lot, but that's our pathway, and that's what we use internally to have checks and balances around that. Any questions around that, or you're just processing? Okay.
That is a lot. What are we focusing on this year?
It is a lot. So what the curriculum team did, and they worked with our administrators and principals, because they also said that's a lot to digest. So we decided to have 3 priorities this year that are supplemented by what you just saw. And our first priority is to make sure that we have a coherent, aligned, early childhood to 12th grade guaranteed viable curriculum. And what that means is the stuff that you're doing in your English class, your math class, your computer tech class, or the different classes that you're doing, we need to make sure that is aligned and you are engaged and there are no disconnects from when you go from 8th grade to 9th grade and 9th grade to 10th grade and eventually graduate with a Diploma Plus. Our second priority I kind of talked about on the other side is our multi-tier system of support. We recognize that foundationally, there's things on our curriculum we want to make sure that every student knows and they are able to accomplish that. But we also know that we all have different learning modalities, or we learn different, or some of us like math, some of us like science, some of us like reading and history. So when those things come up that may be a little more challenging, we have a multi-tier system that will provide some additional support, or if you learn it really fast, we can provide enrichment. And we also know that with that, sometimes pressure comes along. And there's a lot of stuff going on the internet about pressure being privileged, because that means people expect something of you. And we all have high expectations of you, and we want you to graduate with a Diploma Plus. But we also know social and emotionally and mental health is important as well. So we have supports throughout our system to make sure that we are supporting you social, emotionally, academically, make sure that you have an opportunity to engage in activities like cheerleading and football and debate and those kind of things, so that you can have a well-rounded experience. And our third priority, which will always be a priority, is we are going to make data-based decisions. So you telling me, and data is all around us, it's not just always numbers, but the data you just shared with me is I don't know what a Diploma Plus is. So we need to look at that and to make sure that the decisions that we're making around curriculum, that you all know and understand that, because we won't get there if it's not a goal of yours and you're not collecting your own data to be able to graduate. But throughout our system, we have to look at our data to make informed decisions in order for us to get there. Any questions or additional questions? Okay.
How did you determine the area of focus?
How did we determine the area of focus? So last year, when I accepted the position, I had the opportunity to visit with lots of community members, actually students as well. But one of the things that we did, and I appreciate the board for supporting me in that, is we leveraged a partnership with the University of Kansas, and they did an environmental scan. So some of you may have filled out a survey. I don't know which grade, but you gave feedback, staff gave feedback, community members gave feedback, and the information that came back was these 10 things. And these 10 things, people can see them and read them, but I'll hit a lot of them. The number one thing that came back with this is that we have a proud community and dedicated staff, and that's been my experience. You are proud of your community, you're proud to be from the DOT, you're proud to go to school in Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools, and our staff overwhelmingly is dedicated to our students. And knowing that, what we did here was we have to use if you jump down to number 7, we have to have better data to support measurable targets and ongoing feedback. So as we looked at that internally, that's where we clearly have to be able to show visually what our plan is to articulate what the overall goal is, which is all of you graduating with a Diploma Plus. And then we need to have a clear pathway and an accountability system where we can measure that in a transparent way. And that is something that by the end of this year, people will be able to go to our website, see the progress that we're making. Some of you may be wondering, well, if we're trying to get to 100%, what percentage of our students are currently graduating with a Diploma Plus? Right now, I believe we have 49%. And our target this year, in order to get there by 2031, is for 55% of our students at least. Now, we can get to 100% before then. That will be awesome. But we do have measurable things in place. The other thing, you can read, I'm not going to read all of these because we're having a conversation, but through my own listening and learning sessions and the environmental scan is how we determine what our focus would be.
What are you going to do about it with the situation?
Okay, so what did the environmental scan recommend for us to do about it? They sent 4 broad recommendations that we're implementing this year. The first one was that target change that can make a difference. And the change that we know can make a difference for you, and if somebody is taking tallies on how many times I'm saying graduate with a Diploma Plus, that is something that we know that we can ensure and make happen for our students. And a natural result of that will be our test scores will increase, our students will be more engaged, and all of our data will start to shift because you will be on pathways that you have said, I really enjoy this. So this is an impromptu question. I'm going to ask each one of you, have you thought about what it is that you want to do after school, and if you can share that after you graduate, have you thought about your plans, and if you can share just what your hopes and aspirations are, then I can chime in. So we can start now here. What are you thinking? Speaking to the mic.
My hopes after graduating high school is studying in the medical fields.
Okay.
I want to become a business manager.
You speaking to there so they can hear you? Yeah.
I want to become a business manager.
Okay.
I always wanted to be a pediatrician.
Okay.
I kind of had 2 because at first I was I just wanted to be a flight attendant, but then I was I kind of want to own something of my own, so be an entrepreneur.
An entrepreneur, okay.
Mine would be if sports don't get me into the big leagues or something like that, because I've always been big on sports, then it would be either medical field.
Okay.
I would like to be a doctor of psychiatry.
Okay, so all of the things that you just shared, we have pathways for that. And if your experiences from middle school and high school allow you to explore those fields, you'll be more engaged, you'll learn more, and that will transform all of our data. So that's why it's important for you to know the various pathways, and your counselors, your teachers, and as you go into high school and in middle school, our goal is to really revamp our curriculum so that you are excited about coming to school, you are thinking about that. And I will share, when I was in high school, I thought I wanted to be a broadcast journalist, and they sent me to one camp. And I came back from that camp, and I was like, yeah, that's not for me. So some of you, that is our goal too, to let you explore that and have those experiences, and they may either reaffirm it or open another pathway for you. So that's our goal, that it does exist, but we want to make sure that that's the experience for every student, every day in our schools, pre-K through high school. We want to start it earlier where you're exposed to that. The other thing that was on there was to align and focus, and by us doing that, it'll allow your experience to be different, and then to build a culture, positive culture. There are lots of it showed that our staff was dedicated, and that we do have positive cultures and pockets, but as a system for us to just continue to build on that momentum of the dedicated staff and to make the culture for you to be positive so you'll enjoy coming to school and you can enjoy one another and hold one another accountable as well. And then transformation. And these two, and the Human Resource Department and Special Education Department, it's transformation throughout the district, but we have made strides in both of these areas since this information has come out. And a couple of things that I'll highlight around human resources. We have put systems in place so that some of the things that our community was experiencing with our Human Resources Department, it made it easier to apply for jobs here and get jobs. We're still working through some of that, but we've also been clear about our pathways to grow our own in all of the different fields, but specifically teaching. And we do have like a partnership with the Howell Foundation. They gave our district a $1 million grant to reinvest in future teachers. So we are continuing to grow that. And as far as special education, we have partnered with the University of Kansas to examine how in this global shortage of special education teachers that we can make sure that our students are getting the services that they need. So I just wanted to highlight that. The last thing that I will say, and I'll give you all a moment if you have any more questions for me, is that I really appreciate you getting up here and talking with me. I'll always seek student input and student feedback about your experience. But our district, it's on the upward trajectory, and we'll have data to support that, and we'll continue to focus to ensure that each one of you graduate with the Diploma Plus. So I said a lot. I probably said a lot of things you're like, I don't even know what that means. And that's fine, because some of our adults probably is their first time hearing it as well. But are there any other questions, it doesn't have to be about this, that you would like to ask me? Okay, I see your hand.
I wanted to ask, for clarity, how exactly will Diploma Plus help us, after we graduate, ensure our future?
Okay, so you said you wanted to be a medical psychiatrist? Yes. So our goal would either be a couple of things for you, just depending on what your preference. Number one of the pathways you could have is that you would complete your associate's degree so that when you leave here, you can start taking those classes that will get you to that in your field sooner, because with the medical component, your years in college are going to be a little longer, which is fine. But if you leave here with an associate's degree, you are well on your way and you're not in debt for those things. So for an individual like you, that's what we would do. And for you who want to possibly be an entrepreneur, we would create experiences so you can start to think about business ideas and maybe test them out while you're in school. You may know one of our young entrepreneurs, I don't know if we helped him or not, but we can definitely help him grow his business with Nelson's Lemonade. So he's an entrepreneur already. So our goal would be for either you to launch a business now that we can provide all of the structure for you and the resources where you're not coming out of pocket for that, and then make sure that you are mentored by entrepreneurs and take entrepreneur classes so that you can start to think about, you can have multiple businesses or multiple things, or you may have a narrow focus. So does that answer your question? So for all the things that you all said, now that we know that, like it's on video, we need to go back and ensure that your pathways and the classes that you're taking are aligned to that so that we can help you get you there. Other questions? Anyone? I'll pause. Well, thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this conversation with the students, and I hope you learned a little about where we are and where we hope to go. And I challenge each one of you, when you greet each other in the future, to ask, how are the children? And if we can respond, our children are well, we know that our community will be well. Thank you. Yeah.
You're the engine that makes all things go, and you're always in disguise, my hero.
I see your light in the dark, smile in my face when we all know it's hard.
There's no way to ever pay you back. Bless your heart, no, I love you for that. Honest and selfless. I don't know if this helps it, but good job, you're doing a good job, good job. You're doing a good job, don't get too down. The world needs you now, know that you matter, matter, matter. In the morning, as soon as you walk through the door, everyone needs you again. The world's out of order.
It's not a sound when you're not around.
All day on your feet, hard to keep that energy. I know when it feels like the end of the road, you don't let go, you just press forward. You're the engine that makes all things go. Always in disguise, my hero. I see light in the dark. Smile in my face when we all know it's hard.
There's no way to ever pay you back.
Bless your heart, no, I love you for that. Honest and selfless. I don't know if it helps it, but good job. Good job, good job. You're doing a good job, don't get too down. The world needs you now. Know that you matter, matter, matter. You're doing a good job, a good job. You're doing a good job. good job. You're doing a good job. Don't get too down. The world needs you now. Know that you matter. Yeah.
Okay, so they played that video, and every time it just pulls at my heartstring because those kids sung that song, and we showed that video during convocation this year, and it was their way of saying good job. If you didn't notice, the whole purpose of today was to help educate you, make you more aware of who the foundation is, but more importantly, the work of Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools. And the work of the foundation and the district and our strong yet phenomenal superintendent, Dr. Anna Stubblefield. Will you just take a moment and give her a round of applause? We are so fortunate to have her, and she has selected a phenomenal cabinet team that in the years to come, you will see us achieve those goals. We will get there. And we won't get there alone. It will take partners for excellence to be successful. Partners like Mayor Garner, who is very committed to not only our county, but the growth and progress of our students, our schools. Commissioner Melissa Bynum, who is here today. She not only is a lifelong resident and mother, an elected official, an advocate, but she is very passionate and dedicated to this district. Always have, and I think always will be. Commissioner Andrew Davis, who is here, who while new to the commission board, is no stranger to being informed, engaged, and supportive of student achievement. And Senator Pat Petty, her love for kids, she's here today, y'all. Teachers, and overall well-being of the district's ability to educate in excellence is the heartbeat of her dedication that she shows every day. We again thank you all for being here. From my heart to yours. We work hard. We love what we do. And despite COVID and any other situations that go on in Wyandotte County, I have never seen a group of people who stand strong despite the obstacles, and who more than anything put more time and effort into ensuring that the work they do exceeds the standard. It's not easy to be a teacher. It's not easy to clean up the hallways and the bathrooms. It's not easy to sit in a classroom with kids who who live in conditions that many of us will never experience. It's not easy being a board member who may be criticized or judged without any regard for the hard decisions that they have to make. It's not easy being a superintendent who has to manage, 27 elementary schools, 7 middle schools, 5 high schools, and other alternative schools, facilities, operations, nutritional service. It's not easy, y'all. But we do it. And we can't continue to do it without your support. So today we celebrate the hard work. Today you have more information about what our goals are and what we want to achieve as a team. Today you have an opportunity to be a partner for excellence. At the end of the day, you matter, our students matter, our teachers and staff and administrators matter. We all matter. And now let's continue to do a good job. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day.